Hello. This is the next re-recorded solution video, because I added hints to all my posts recently. I'm going through all the variant Sudoku 101 series 1s now. Thank God I realized I wanted to do hints now before I got even more into my career for Sudoku, because this already has been a huge project to redo all these, but... Yeah, so if you've done the first couple in this series, this will be the first time you've seen a quiz. So it says, as you can see, this is the first quiz in the series. Quizzes will use the two most recently introduced rules at the same time to demonstrate how they can interact with each other. I hope you studied. So, I mean, you should be fine if you've done the first two already. Again, this is meant to be for people who are already good with classic Sudoku but new to variant, but you could just do this if you're just new to Sudoku in general. It's just you're going to have a harder time then. I'm expecting you to be able to look at a box, for example, and see, well, where does 3 go in this box? And you should have the intuition to kind of think about that sort of stuff. So, you'll notice there's no fog this time. That was originally kind of part of the idea I had here, was let's make it harder by taking away the fog, so it's not as obvious where to look. But it also means you have way more clues at your disposal to think about, which is both good and bad. You know, it's way more information to work with right away, but also intimidating, because which do you look at first? And so that's what the hints are here for. But same rules as before, killer cages. Digits in dotted line cages must sum to the number in the top left corner, so those sum to 14, these sum to 10, etc. You have crop key pairs as well, so black dots, 1 digit's double the other, white dots, each digit is consecutive, so 1 and 2, 5 and 6, etc. So, let's restart here, and right away start with hint 1, because there's sort of 2 places you can begin this puzzle at, and the first 2 hints address that. So, hint 1 says, the white dot sequence in box 1 has a start and an end, but we don't know which one is the start or end yet. So we think about that. That's the start of one of them, or one end of it, because there's no 2 black dots connected to it. Another way to think of this is we need a 1 and a 9 somewhere in this box, and you can't have a 1 or a 9 anywhere where it's between 2 digits. So 1 and 9 are in these 2 spots. We just don't know which is which yet. But that does mean you can pencil mark them. You could say, well, that's either 1 or 9, that's 1 or 9. You could then ask, well, what's next in those sequences? It's either 2 and 8 next to it. So 2 and 8, 2 and 8. Same here, 3 or 7, 4 and 6, 4 and 6. And so the hint ends with, where does 5 go? Well, it just has to go here, because that's the center of that little sequence. It's 1 through 9 in some order. 5 is going to be the middle of it. The final part of the hint says you can then use the cage in row 1. That's this. This either has to be 5-9 or 6-8. It can no longer be 5-9. So that is 6-8. That being 6-8 means this is not 6. So this tells us the order of the sequence. That's 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. So let's see what we can do first. This is 5, 7, or 9, just to make that white dot work. We also have a couple other things we can look at, just to get them pencil marked in. So like, for example, this is a 10 cage in 4 digits. That just is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the only way to do that. This is a 12 cage. That's either 3, 9, 4, 8, or 5, 7. But we can't have 5 or 7 on the left, so we certainly can't have 5 or 7 on the right. This 14 is either 5, 9, or 6, 8. 12 is either 3, 9, 4, 8, or 5, 7. Okay, so that's what we can do for now. So hint 2 is what comes in next. Hint 2 is addressing you to the other kind of freebie bit of information in the grid. Hint 2 says, the black dots in box 9 force 5, 7, 9 to be in row 9, which impacts the cages in row 9. So just go back to our black dot basics. We either have 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8, or 3, 6. None of those are 5, 7, 9. So in a box like this with 3 black dots, 5, 7, 9 have to be on the bottom. That's 9. Those aren't 9. That being 9 takes out 3, 9 as an option here, and we also have 5, 7 from that. So 5, 7 comes out from there. That's not 9, that's not 5. Certainly not 5 either, so that's not 5, that's not 9. And this is not 8. Or this is not 8, because we have an 8 over here. So that's 6, that's 8. This 9 here takes 9 out from here, 3 from over here. Let's see. Let's do hint 3 now, because again, there's a lot of ways you can go. In a puzzle like this, it's pretty open. There's a lot of areas you can look at, but I'm going to follow the hints first. Hint 3 says, box 3's 14 cage heavily restricts what the black dot in box 3 can have on it. And that's this. So think about it. We have 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8, or 3, 6. And we can't have 3, 6 now, because there's a 6 here. And we can't have 8 on it either. So this is going to be either 1 and 2, which it actually can't be because it's not a 1 or 2 here. It could be 2, 4. And that's actually the only other option. Because it can't then be 4, 8. It can't be 3, 6. So that has to be 4, that has to be 2. That gives us 8 there, 4 here, 6 here, 8 there. This is no longer 5. So now we can be a little kind of clever with our classic Sudoku here. We can see now that we have an 8 here, an 8 here, and then we also have 4 here and a 4 here. So none of these can be 4 or 8. So 4 and 8 in this box have to go over here. That's actually not quite where we need to look at, but that is something worth noting. That'll come up in a minute. I thought that was the right time for it, guess not. Let's go to box 5 now, because we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. This is not a 4, so that's not an 8. Let's go to these black dots now. So let's think about what each of these could be, because we know we need one of them is going to be 1, 2, one will be 4, 8, one will be 3, 6. And even though 2, 4 is an option, let's say we made this 2, 4. It's not, because we have a 4 here, but if we made that 2, 4, we could make this 3, 6, but then the other would have to be 1, 8, and that doesn't work. There's 3 different pairs we have to make here. So the question you could ask is, which one is 3, 6? We can't have a 6 in this column, and we can't have a 3 in this column, so this has to be the 3, 6. Meaning one of these has to be 1, 2. And it's not going to be that one. So that's 1, 2. That's 4, 8. And we know the order of that. That's 4, 8. This needs to be 7 or 9. That can't be 9. So that's 7, 5, 7 here. This column needs 1 and a 6. This column needs 2, 5, 9. And here we already have all this, so it's not 1, 6, 7, 2, 5, or 9. So that's 3, 4, 8. The only one of these that's consecutive with a 1 and 2 is a 3. The other way you could have done that is you could have just typed in 1, 2, 3 as the options here and seen that has to be a 3. So that works. That's not, so that's 4, that's 8, that's 8. That becomes 2, 1. This needs to be consecutive, so that's a 2. 2 and 3 are out from here, which means 1 and 4 are out from here. And this is where the info from over here comes in, because this can no longer be 4 or 8. So this is a 4, 8 pair. That can't be 8, that's 8. Or that's 8, that's 4. This now has to be 2. Let's see. Let's look at this black dot. I haven't gone there yet. The top of this is pretty restricted. It can't be 1, 2, 4, or 6. So that just is either 3 or 8. If that's a 3, that's a 6. If that's an 8, that's a 4. We have this white dot, so that's either a 1 with a 2 underneath, which is not. So that is 4. That's 1. This is either 3 or 5 now. I think this is where I'll bring up hint 4 now. Because really, I mean, technically we could have looked at this earlier, but this is around the point where it's going to come in handy. Hint 4 says, don't forget that each white dot must have an even and an odd number. This comes in very handy to work out what is on the various dots in the right and lower right part of this puzzle. So let's see what's a good place to look at for that. Let's look at this one. So we need an even digit on here. We can't have 2, 4, or 8 on it because we have that. So there's going to be a 6 on this. And a 6 would have to be paired with a 5 or a 7. So that doesn't tell us the order, but that's sort of the strategy we're looking at. You could also look at this one maybe and see same kind of thing. Can't have a 2 on it because of the row. We can't have a 4 on it or an 8 because of this. So we again need a 6 paired with a 5 or a 7. We can't have 6 on the left, so 6 is on the right part of that. Which gives 3 there, 6 here, 5 here. That tells us 7 there. Once again, do the same thing here. We have a 4, 6, and an 8 in the row, so now we need a 2 on this. And that's going to be paired with a 1 or a 3. Can't be 1, so that is a 2, 3 pair. Let's see. Let's maybe look at this quadruple. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. So this is 5, 6, 7, 9. That's not 6, that's not 7. In this row, we have a 2, 3 pair here, so we only have 3 digits left here. That's going to be 5, 7, 9. Can't have a 7 over here, so 7 goes there. This row needs a 1, 4, 9. And here we need, in this row in general, we need 1, 2, 3. So that actually gives us a 1, 2, 3 triple here. So that's not a 1. This is now a 4, 9, so that's 1. That's 3. That's 2 and 3. 3 is out from there. That 3 tells us the order of this black dot. That's now 8 and 4. 9, 4 there. 9 comes out from over here. This is starting to crumble nice. That's 5, that's 9. 5's out from those. Finishing off this column, we have a 5, 6, 7 triple here, and we have an unresolved 1, 2, so that'll be the other of a 1 or 2. Where are we looking now? Just trying to find some weak spots that actually make sense to look at. We could also just, do normal Sudoku, but I find it a little more, it's almost boring to just do normal Sudoku when you could just go and, like, type in the candidates everywhere, sort of. Yeah, let's just do class normal Sudoku, because I'm not seeing anything immediate from just doing that sort of approach. 1s aren't super restricted. 2s aren't super restricted. 3s. 3. The 3 in this box can't go in any of those, so 3 goes here. That's about all we can do with that. 4s. We actually have all the 4s already. 5s. 6. 6 in this box up here must go there. Sevens. 8s. We already have all the 8s, and maybe 9? Not really. Let's go back to the other approach. So let's maybe go to list column. We need 3 digits here. It's going to be 1, 5, 7, 9. Still not quite enough. Oh, but this row is only missing 2 things now. That's maybe an easier place. So that's either 1 or 5. That's a 5. That's a 1. That's not 1. 7, 9 pair gives us a 5 here. 9 there, a 5 here. 7, 9. This row is a 3 and a 7. 3, 7. 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. Here we need 2, 9. This is 5, 6, 7 for the column. Now this ends up being 1, 3, 9. That's 1, 9, 3. Oh my god. 5, 9, 6, 1. 6 comes out from here, so 6 is on top of that. That's 7, 5, 7, 5, and 6. That got a little rough by the end. That was really mostly just me. Like, if I was solving, I would have just pencil marked in a ton of those rows and columns easier, but I was trying to avoid doing that here because it's not really the most logical. It's just kind of typing in candidates all willy-nilly, but that ended up being the most easy way to kind of get through this one. So, that only took that long because of that, but this is a short video anyways. So that's quiz number 1. The next in the series, I probably won't record these until tomorrow night or later in the week, but it keeps doing the same pattern. We have another 2 puzzles next, introducing 2 more rules, followed by a second quiz, and then exam 1, which brings all 4 of the rules together. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching.